There they are, everybody.
Was my big old head in the way? What's up, boys, ladies, people, solutionaries out there, everyone. Wow.
We're up in the cafe making some great things happen. And guess what? The chef has showed up.
That's me.
Chef Shaun.
Chef
the one,
Shaun.
The only.
Woo! Man, I'm real excited.
Can you hear me, Chef?
Morning.
I can hear you.
Not
Through the headphones, though.
Nah, probably not. It's good.
Hey, guys, we're so excited. Hopefully you got yourself excited listening to some with the Car Guy Coffee podcast intro. Folks, there's so many solutionaries that have jumped in here, and I'm so excited to have the chef in here. This is Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
This is Frelin Arts, the subprime hero.
And this is Chef Shaun.
Yay.
So many other names. This is a brother from another mother that we are so excited to have here today. And we're just pumped up to get going and doing what it is that we do. If you are ready to start brewing solutions, go ahead and tag somebody, shout out at a friend, somebody that you want to share a cup of coffee and a conversation with. Hey, drop their name in there and let them know that it's time to start brewing solutions, getting on after this Labor Day weekend. Man, Fred.
Yes, man.
Check this out.
What?
Shaun's here.
I know, bro. I'm super excited, folks. Usually at the beginning of these shows, you'll just kind of see my head down a little bit looking at my phone. It's not because I'm not paying attention or nor care. I'm just trying to share, make sure everybody knows what's going on. I'm going to ask you guys to do the same thing. If you're on here right now, I need you to get out there and share this out. We need to make sure people are watching this because we got Shaun, Jeezy, as I call him, Jeezy. Now, Chef Shaun, he's been in the business. He is a official veteran now. It's kind of crazy to say that. I've known Shaun for a long time. I was there the day. Matter of fact, I drug him into this business. So I'm so excited that he's here. He's definitely somebody we're going to highlight. He has a lot of stories. He knows a lot about me. He knows a lot about Lou. He's been managed by both of us. He's been really good friends with both of us for a very long time. When it comes to managing him, it's not really managing him. It's just we just coach each other up. We pump each other up. You know, Shaun's not somebody that I have to like hold his hand and tell him to do this. Shaun's the kind of guy that kind of brings you suggestions, the kind of guy that's going to show you, hey, what do you think about this alternative way of doing something? That's what Shaun is. He likes to serve it up. He likes to bring a special recipe, if you know what I'm saying. So we're excited to have him here today. You guys need to get excited because I'm telling you, he's going to tell you guys some pretty cool stuff. I'm excited about doing a confession session with him. I'm excited about a few things. So we're going to get through this. We got a 5-liner for Shaun today. Shaun, these 5-liners are fun. It's going to bring out a lot of stuff. I'm going to ask you some questions and hopefully maybe get to know you even more than I already do. I don't think it's possible, but I'm going to get to know Shaun a little bit more. And I think you guys, most important, are going to benefit from this because you're going to see what good hard work, maturity, somebody who wakes up every day with intention, what that can do for you. All right. So
he's here.
Yeah.
Shaun, so excited.
Very excited.
Husband,
man.
Father, leader, friend.
Yes.
Just excited to have you here.
Yes.
Anything you want to say while we're done yakking about how hooked up we are?
Just good morning. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate you guys.
Man.
Long overdue, but definitely been keeping up with you guys.
Yes.
Appreciate you let me join it this morning. So
you know, one thing that I love about what we're doing right now is that we're getting a chance to highlight people that are in our community, people who are us, our friends. You know, we've been so busy with all these podcasts. Like we started off doing them by ourselves. We didn't really know what we were doing. We were just we just had something in our heart. Something was weighing on my heart. And I just wanted to make sure that I got it out there, right? And I wanted to reach out to people and see if this really was something that was real. Because I really believe through travel, and Shaun knows, Shaun traveled the country with us for many years. And if you're out there and you know this, Shaun, there's just a lot of dealerships that just don't have the spark inside the stores.
Very true.
That was the difference between us being at the stores for that week or us not, was that little spark. It was just a slight difference. Granted, we did throw flyers, tens of thousands of flyers out there, and tons of people were coming in. I want my prize. But we were bringing a spark in that store with those ups because most of the time, the local dealers, and you saw it, you would see a local guy from a store. They would catch this up with the flyer, and they would just process the flyer. That's it. They wouldn't even try to sell them anything because that's just their normal MO, right? So we came in. We brought guys like Shaun, Jeezy to come in there, and Shaun, really quick, just became process driven. He understood that. And we're going to talk more about that too. I'm excited about that. So I know.
I'm just pumped up because I mean,
I am too, man.
What we get so pumped up about with anybody that we have on the show, it's what it is that we do know about them, and we have such great experiences with Shaun. Some great time. I gained so much wisdom hanging out with him, and iron sharpening iron. You know what I mean? So many of the conversations that we have are things that really upshift us and uplift us. You know what I mean? We get better at our craft, but at the same time, we get better as men. You know what I mean? And that's a key thing that we enjoy doing inside of the dealership and inside of life. And bro, I honor you. I appreciate you. Grab a water because I got a cheers. Welcome to the pod. Welcome to the cafe.
Yeah, welcome to the cafe.
Get the sign out here.
Cheers.
And good morning.
Real quick, I want to throw out some shout outs to people who are on here currently.
Yeah.
We had Keith. He says, good morning. It's a new day. Time to grind. That's such a fact. Every single day it's time to grind. Theo! What up, peeps? He says, you guys have the spark, fire, and boom. Thanks, man. We appreciate that. And then we got Luke McCoy.
Cool hand Luke.
Man, Luke the chef. Yeah, Luke. Luke's a great person, folks. Luke's another one of those guys that we've seen come up in the business. He's reaching out. He's branching out to a different business right now. I wish him nothing but the best. Recently married to the love of his life, Olivia. Congratulations to you. I love this guy. We appreciate you. If you guys are in the local area and you need some insurance in Hardin County, this area, make sure you get a hold of Luke. Luke is with Allstate.
Just bought a policy. I can vouch for him myself.
Yeah, and the one thing is that what Luke will provide you is with a great service. This guy's got a charisma. He's got a heart. He's a local guy that's going to do everything he can to make sure that he honors what he says. So peep out some Luke McCoy. So back to our show,
which is the homegrown. So
homegrown, man.
McCoy, chef.
These are a lot of homegrown people going on.
So many people in this Kentuckiana area that are just really great thoroughbreds. I mean, we were talking about it the other day.
Dude, we do. We got thoroughbreds coming out here. There's a lot of strong car guys that have come out, done and reached out, touched all parts of the country, helped other parts of the country to become better, all from here in Hardin County. Shaun's one of them. Obviously, Lou. I could keep naming Clint Riggs. He's still out there grinding, out there doing it. Matt Damos, obviously, with us. Paul, there's Lane Jackson, who's still out there running the game, right? You still got Bill Mathias. You got, gosh bless. If you stay, guys that are still in this local area crushing things, you got Shaun, Lewis Nelson. You have Bill Baxley, who's up in Louisville doing 30 cars a month consistently since I've known the guy, 20 years. That's another guy I want to get on the show eventually just because he's got a lot of knowledge. He's way more experienced than most of us when it comes to that process of selling cars every single day. So just that time he's put in, but we're excited, man. Woo! Homegrown series, folks. This has been a lot of fun to be able to talk to people local, see some things. I have a superstar sitting right next to me to my left, not just because this dude's my homeboy. This dude's like a brother. I mean, we literally spent months and months together traveling the country, spent days hanging out just at our houses.
Years in life, yeah.
Yeah, our kids are family, like it's like his kids are like my niece and nephew, and vice. I know my son to them is like their nephew, and just like with Lou, we're all the same. We kind of have this connection right here, and it's a beautiful connection, and that's something. Whether the car business was still around or not, we're always going to have that because we built that, and that's
had it before the car business. That's how he dragged me into this.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and that's what's so beautiful about this is that it's like you find life. Life is everything. I always compare life and car business because to me, you can use the same kind of things that you want done in life that you can in car business, and it applies, right? So, these friends that I've met, he said before the car business, really before the car business, Shaun and I have met, went to the same high school together, we basically grew up as adults together.
Yeah.
Literally like raising itty bitty babies to now we have grown men and women going to college.
And college and
no doubt. But hey, I'm not going to go too much further because we got a lot of stuff we want to ask Shaun. It's 5-liner. But I also, before we go, there's always this thing we do at the very beginning of every show. It's very important.
We do it every single day at work, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's basically what it is that we try to keep ourselves being able to do to go to the next heights and focus on where it is that we want to go. So on 3, car guys and car gals, join us while we forgive, focus, fly. 1, 2, 3.
Forgive, focus, fly, and keep growing. Keep growing. That's right.
That's right. Hey,
we're excited, man.
Let's get this
Thanks.
rocking.
We got that. We got Shaun Jeezy. So, and I'm Shaun. If you saw that intro at the beginning, you'll see that like we get everybody to do that as a guest. So what's cool is that here soon you'll be in our intro doing that.
Bam.
Right. And here's another fact.
Some royalties.
This is the first time anybody has done it right next to me and Lou on our show. It's always been on two different screens or something like that. So this is history being made right now, folks.
Man, that was beautiful.
Now look what I also got him to do.
Oh snap!
Oh, he's on the board. We've had some amazing guests. We've had a couple signatures, but we have never had a chance. It feels good. Best signature on the book. Look how big that is. I love it. I told him to go big, and he did it. So I love it. You can actually read the name. So that's the point. So 5-liner. What's up with that? All right, man. So we're gonna ask you 5 questions, Shaun, and these 5 questions are just about you, about what's coming up. I always ask the same question first. Everyone gets asked this question because it's important to start with this. Your purpose, your why. When you wake up every day, what is the thing that sparks you to say, you know what, today I'm going to be better. Today I'm going to go work out. Today I'm going to, I'm not going to sit there and just watch an up walk by. I'm not going to not pick up the phone and call this lead. What causes you to go ahead and make sure that you do all those things?
Anytime you have, family watching you, anytime you have friends watching you, coworkers watching you, and you would expect that of the same people. You just have to lead by example. So the family, trying to be what I preach, practice what you preach, definitely in that way. So
yeah, man. And it's true. Family, practice what you preach. So you're just what it drives you is that you're just an honest person, man. You that's one thing.
Sometimes too honest.
That's I don't think there's a such thing.
Yeah.
I think that maybe in the long run, there's no such thing as too honest. I think sometimes it may slap somebody in the face because you're being honest in a sense. Not, you know what I mean? Like it may be like it gives them an awakening, but that's something that I always really, really find as a great trait about you, Shaun, is that I don't have to worry about that. Like I know that if I ask you what your opinion is on something, if I ask you that question, I better be ready for the real answer.
Yeah, at least my opinion. Yeah.
So I know that there's certain questions that I can go ask certain people, and I know I'm just going to get the smile on your face. Oh, everything's great. Or I can go to Shaun and just be like, hey, dude, I jacked up, dude. What do you think about this? And Shaun would be like, well, yeah, you did jack up. This is what, so that's what I think is great. I think that your clients see that about you, that you're a no nonsense person. Yeah. I think that's why you've been successful and been able to be very consistent in what you do. The family thing. If there's anything I know about Shaun, this dude's a family man, dude. He loves his family. He's raised 2 wonderful children, and that's some more stuff we'll talk about here in a moment.
They're not kids no more. They're not.
No, but he literally raised them from from out the belly to out the house, and
right.
And Shaun's got empty nest syndrome going on right now. So he's just trying to throw dogs in there and cats, and but no, it's true. The thing about the reason why I asked you the why is the reason why I ask everybody the why is because when I always think about when I was in the business, when I was selling, I'm in the business still, but when I was out there on the lot, catching ups, pounding the pavement, I remember there was days that it was too hot outside, it was too cold outside, or I just wasn't feeling it, or I just not in a good mood. I would sit there and I would be like, instead of not working, instead of not being outside, instead of not catching that up, instead of not doing the extra walk around on a car that it takes in this type of weather, I would drive myself because I would think about what would my son and my wife say if I called them right now. That's something I learned a long time ago. So I use my family as my why. But as I get older and as I mature a little bit more, that why that's just because that's the right thing to do. So it's a great thing to power you to get you past the next level. But I think what it continually makes me do that is the drive to just be better than I was yesterday. And I talk about that a lot. Constant growth, keep growing. And just being a little bit better, like, whether it's just being able to do one more push-up, one more pull-up, one more burpee, right? Or maybe making that one extra phone call or whatever it is. That's truthfully what drives me now, is just to be better. I found that to be my purpose, and that because it spreads out to a lot of things that drive me, such as my family, such as my friends, such as everything you can imagine. So that's just one of those things that I can use, but I just try to be a little bit better. I'm not in competition with you, Shaun, with him. I just believe that if I'm better than I was yesterday, that means there's a huge improvement going on. Just got a constant 365 days of it. Turn that into 10 years. 10 years from now, I'm doing some miracles, right? So I love that answer. I think that one thing about Shaun, like I said, him being a family man is key to him. And I know that he loves his wife, adores his wife. They have a great relationship. They're good. They are like
almost 21 years.
Yeah. Him and his wife are like amazing people. His wife, actually, when it comes to my wife is like, loves Chrissy. That's like our home girl. Right. So true. I mean, real talk. That's the one. And, so me and Shaun have been able to build on that. So we've become friends, and we've, done a lot of stuff. So I've seen these things. So he's 100% right. So question 2 for Lou.
Thank you. I'm just down for Shaun to share anything that he has in the side of what's connected you in the car business, and what has made you kind of build a brand around you. Why is it that we're going with Chef Shaun? Why is it that you have done things for years? Like I've gone back into the archives of what the dealership's been doing, and so many of the older videos that were you and your testimonials, you know what I mean? The other things that we've had out there. Why is it that over the years, it's been so important for you to reshape, rebuild, and connect your person to your car guy persona, if that makes sense? Because there's so much that's wrapped into the Chef Shaun. Well, you know what I mean?
It just keeps it real. I mean, there's no fluff, or there's no advertisement. It's real. It is what it is. Yep. Being who I am, I try to wrap my art, which is cooking, into my business, which is helping people solve transportation problems. So
and anything it's cooked.
Yes, and I can cook. And looking at all that stuff, that's that's part of my personality. So just as I would put love into making great food, try to put the love into making a good deal for myself and for the customer.
He's got the right recipe for you folks out there. If you're out there and you're in Hardin County, if you're anywhere across the country, we can help you.
Coming soon.
Come see him. He's got a recipe for you. He's going to make sure that it has the perfect flavor, everything about the deal. Not to get cheesy, but to get real. Ooh, come on. God, I'm just turning to Lou real quick. So But
he really is the chef, though. So, I mean, think of this. And when going on one of the boat trips, right, when we're out there with all the guys, and, we're on a houseboat trip for 3-4 days, right? This man right here is preparing and continuing to move the entire food flow like you're on a luxury cruise liner, okay? And where you're eating food that's amazing. Everything that you touch and eat is like blowing your mind, right? Gosh. While you're just sitting out there inside a great environment. He's doing that by himself the whole time because he loves to do it. You know what I mean? Because he loves it and enjoys it. And it doesn't matter what's going on.
Italian beef sandwiches, Italian beef sandwiches.
Oh, and then be like, hey, you hungry? If you even look like you're a little hungry,
but that's the thing,
he's out there fire up the grill.
Shaun isn't just good at cooking it. He absolutely loves doing that. I mean, you can see it. Like he loves to make a good dish. I've known that since I've known Shaun. Every time he says, hey, I'm having a little grill out at my house. You want to come? Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's been good. I've been able to taste a lot of different things, from his smoked food to his, everything on a grill. Shaun, when it comes, especially to Shaun cook anything, but when it comes to grill, it's a grill master right here. Yeah. Kills it on a grill. Oh, matter of fact, man, what are we grilling again? We need to go ahead and make that happen soon.
So on the grill, being the master that he was, I guess in connecting number 2, what was it that you did before the car business, and what connected you to the car business?
What did I do before the car business? I actually had a contract company. I'm doing small parcel delivery for a major outfit here in the United States. How that connects me, I guess, is really the type of employment or the type of lifestyle that you would have as a car guy individually. As a small business owner, it's your lifestyle. It's not clocking in or clocking out, or like leaving it. You're always waiting for the phone call. You always answer your phone. You always respond and do your business. So in the car business, when I left my small business, I did not want to clock in or be kind of privy to control in that way, or control my money or anything like that. So it gave me the opportunity to be myself, create my own small business within another large business. Doing that gives me the freedom to to have my time and to take care of people how I need to take care of them, and implement obviously strategies you guys have taught me over years, but, things that I know how to do, with staying organized and, and being proactive and searching for business. So
right.
Kind of transitions,
yeah.
And that's really, after my small business closed down, Fred, asked me a couple times, hey, you want to come on the road?
I did.
I've turned it down more times than I said yes, of course, but it only takes that one yes.
Takes one yes.
And then, and
I'm a closer.
I'm on the road, and Lou's like, hey, or Fred's like, hey, we're going on the road. I'm going to go on a sale, but I'm not going with you, even though I told you I wanted you to go with us. But Lou's going to be your manager. So next thing you know, we're driving to the hills of Kentucky in a Ford Taurus with Lou Ramirez, and it all kind of transitions from there.
So. It's crazy how that works, and
that's crazy.
Sean got to see some crazy parts. Shaun was out there with us, staying in them hotels, seeing what it's like to be out there. He dug in deep. He earned his player's card. You know what I'm saying? So he knows what he's talking about when it comes to that.
There were weeks on the road, you qualify people, I would scan in, 100, 200, scans.
I forgot we used to have that little scanner. We were high tech.
So consider that real quick for all of you car guys and car gals out there. Think of this for a moment. Put yourself in this position, okay? You were never in the car business. You didn't sit through an orientation class. You didn't watch a bunch of Joe Verdi videos or any of the old VHSs of the past, right? You didn't go through any of that stuff. You didn't get prepped too much outside of your boy saying, hey, come out with me. We're going to go to the sale. And remember, these sales are not just any day sales. These are the sales that you use to put the defibrillator on a dealership and ignite them into life again, right? You add the jump box. That's what the sale is. He's brand new. He had 200 people inside of a week that he's having to pull in and then have to process and turn into car deals. Okay, brand new, didn't know anything, hasn't been taught nothing, for just the drive there, maybe okay. So there's
hotel talk
there's
and the drive talk.
Yeah, there's 10 steps, and we're gonna do this, and it's going to look like. But hey, when we get there, we got to line up all the cars, and we got to set up all this, and we got to run the caution tape. You know what I mean? All that other crazy stuff is going on.
Move the cars around, make it corral.
Right. He's what, where, how? Hey, they're here. They want this. They want, you know what I mean? And imagine the crazy fire hydrant of drinking that he had to do at that time, that many people don't have to hit it that aggressively, but you did it. You took it like a champ, man. You took it like a champ. You killed it. Man, it
was exciting. It was all new. It was totally a new industry for me. So it was, invigorating to learn, basically, being, doing small parcel. That's, you learn everything that you have to do about that in trucks and business and finances.
Shaun basically when he was talking about partials, when he was doing this business, he did it for a long time, and he would drive an hour plus in Lexington, 90 minutes almost, unless you're flying, but 90 minutes to get to where he had his business. Like that was his headquarters right there. And then they started upgrading. They started doing, working on their vehicles. They started doing this because, they understood that's the way you save from overhead. And he did a good job. So he started learning about everything about motors, all these, brakes, having to constantly, brakes was probably the most common thing you had to replace. Yeah. I could imagine on those things are heavy, carrying all kinds of weight. Then having to deal with drivers that were like iffy sometimes.
NASCAR drivers.
Right. Some of them, and then they get in little accidents. Oh my gosh, all kinds of stuff. Having to make sure that you had all your right licenses, so Shaun was on top of it. And Shaun did it for a long time. That was a lot of fun. During those days, Shaun and I got to hang out a lot. I was working at home. I was actually, at that time, I was doing a lot of calling dealers. And also I was working from home most of the time. So I didn't have to really go anywhere. So I would just stay at home, make some phone calls. I didn't do enough phone calls, but I did. I made phone calls, and then I'd go hang out with Shaun a lot. So Shaun and I hung out quite a bit then,
Skateboard and Taekwondo.
That was about what I did every day. I was going Taekwondo like 8 hours a week, guys. No joke. So, and skateboarding every single day pretty much. So, but it was a good time, so that was probably when me and Shaun became the closest. So that would lead into my third question. I know that, before you did this, you were you had your business, and before you did that, I know you actually were a cook in the industry. And so Shaun, but he was doing it at not like a steak joint. He was, but he was doing it like at Asian places and things like that. So Shaun learned a lot of culture that, but Shaun's also the kind of guy who grew up around culture. He has family that has different culture in them. And Shaun's much like how Lou and I, and how most of my friends look is that we don't look at people as different. We look at them all as human beings, as family, because everybody could be family. You never know. It doesn't matter what color your skin is. It's just, we're all love, right? So what would you say out of all the stuff that you learned growing up, the people you were around and all that type of stuff, what would you say was the thing that you learned as a trait inside you or as a idea inside you about the world and about people? What would you say helped you become the kind of guy who can talk to people and be able to talk to everyone? That makes sense, and look at everyone as the same.
I guess just do unto others, growing up in multiple, having that opportunity for, low income, having medium income, having different ways and seeing different walks of life. It's just knowing, understanding everybody is the same and everybody feels the same and is happy the same and is sad the same. And the color doesn't matter. I've learned a lot about geography and, histories of the world and stuff like that, kind of growing up and just knowing that it all kind of comes down to humanism versus anything, So, I guess that just kind of doing unto others, because, no matter, even an animal, I wouldn't viciously hurt an animal because I wouldn't viciously want anything to hurt me, So it's just kind of in that way, same thing. So,
yeah, so much so. Well, you're a good human. And that kind of question was after retrospect, after I asked the question, I realized that's kind of like one of those, he's saying he's a good human. And what I guess more or less, I was wanting to say that Shaun is a great human being, beyond anything, let's take away the car guy. Let's take away, even being a family guy, he's a good human being. He's the kind of guy he wants, like he just said. And that's why I love he said that. He says he do unto others as you want done unto you. And, but don't expect that. What Shaun does is he throws out that type of vibe to people. Hey, I respect you. You respect me. Don't give me crap. I won't give you crap. That type of stuff, right? And so that's exactly the way he wants to be treated. And I can respect that.
But don't tread on him.
Oh, don't tread on him. No, don't tread on him. Or anybody that he cares about. Or anybody he cares about. I'll tell you,
true.
Shaun did a funny post, sort of funny, sort of serious too. He writes, "Y'all know me. Why would I need you to bail me out?" Right? Something to that nature, right?
If I got arrested, why would you need me to be?
Yeah. I could already tell you it's between like one or two things. It's family or friends. It's one of the only things. It wouldn't be for something, or we won't talk about the third, but the first two.
Growing up, I never got into any trouble myself. If I got into fights, it was because of my sisters. That's what you do. That's what you do as a big brother, I guess. I never had a problem with anybody. It was always them having problems. So
that's right. So Shaun's always enjoying the at arms that we feel when we talk about the stages that our daughters are going through and the things that we cringe in knowing, our kids have to be exposed to, because how guys are and stuff like that. And we're sitting there trying to grow through it all. And we share that pain together as our daughters have made this transition into these women that are now out there doing women things, right? They're going to college, living on their own, and we have each other to lean on during this. And it's such a blessing. It's so great for me just to kind of share the hey, oh, she's going through this today. Oh, she's going through that too. Oh my gosh. You know what I mean? That this stage of dad is fun for us all. And man, we're enjoying it. But it's just fun having somebody like Shaun. And so many of you have a culture inside of your dealership and where it is that you are. Make sure that you are finding a way to interweave yourself on a level that's deeper than just the car deal. Okay. The function of what it is that you do inside of your business is good, but where it is that you dig your roots deep, the deep places that actually give you the life that it takes for you to produce fruit, like the roots of a tree, they dig deep into what you cannot see to find and draw out water, right? To create fruit. And those fruits create seed. Well, sometimes we got to dig a little deeper. What do we usually do when we're digging deeper? We're going to hit the chest one time. And we are going to make sure that we are penetrating the heart in the things that we do. So a lot of our culture at work or for the people, right, is that it's not so much just about the car deal, right? It's the people. There's an accolade that we enjoy, being the best place to work in Kentucky. We've attained it for 3 years now. And there's something about being able to not just say that we have the best deals in town, which isn't even what we would promote.
Never.
But saying that we have the best people, and we love the people the most and making that our culture, because they see it evident on us. You know what I mean?
Well, when a customer walks into your, into dealership to my desk and they sit down at my desk, I mean, I'm there at my desk or at my place of business sometimes more than I am at home. So you got to have that feel when they sit at your desk. You don't want them to feel like they're sitting in a business. I spend a lot of time there, so I want them to be comfortable. So I want them to be comfortable as if they're walking into my living room, sitting on my couch, and I'm handing them a bottle of water there. It's the same concept. You make friends, and you them comfortable, you're comfortable. Everything usually works a little
right. Let me write that note down.
Just like a chef, right?
I love that. That's Shaun. That's a very good nugget, folks. Did you hear what he just said? So when you bring your clients in, you sit them down in front of you. Don't make it feel sterile like they're at an office.
Right. Yeah,
make it like you're sitting down at your couch and you're getting to know each other like friends. Right. Make that your priority. Oh my God!
You see how culture is shifting in that direction, right? I mean, Capital One. I mean, even if they're in their advertisement, they're saying, let's wipe away what you feel is the big banker experience, and we're going to make it to where it's a sit down, homey, cozy type of flow. Chef, if we step into the room and we go over to your area inside of the store, because I consider it so much like it's the straw market, right? Like everybody has their area and they create it kind of the way they want it, and they promote themselves their way. But Chef Shaun has this entire wall that's from top to bottom, side to side, filled with cars all over it. What is that you got going on over there, Chef?
That is the kid car lot. So it's Hot Wheels. It gives me a reason to walk through the aisle and look for cool toys anyways. But just have a wall of cars, kid car lot. The kids come in with their parents, and they're always a big part of the car deal, always, so notice how they're talking to their kids about it. Notice what they're saying, what their kids are saying about the car, because it really does matter more than what you're saying. So, but I usually give a car away to each kid. Once they're there, the parents, do business. I let the kid know, hey, you get a new car today too. Pick one off the wall. Boom. Everybody's usually pretty happy. It's definitely, it's cool to see.
Yeah.
No, it is. It's. When I saw it, that was like, it made my mind go, hello. That's so. It's an idea that sounds very simple, right? But it's so powerful. Simple things are amazing when you just don't think about them before. I mean, as easy as just saying, hey, kids, not only did your parents get a car, but you get to pick one out too. Oh, come on. Closed.
And there's some business in there, and I just have a memory like that. But, if you're 3 years down the road, you're mowing the grass and you run over a Hot Wheel in the yard that's muddy and you pick it up and it's just, hey, this is the one that my kid got from that car from Shaun.
That's not for a new car anyway.
Sometimes it can be better than a business card.
It is better than a business card. I'm going to tell you that.
The little things that you hear the customer do after the close or after you feel like they've gone to that next stage. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, everybody takes their deep breath and tries to then count their marbles after the customer breaks the curb and they're driving down the street, right? All steps are in house, bing bong, let's ride, right? But there's these key things that happen after they sign on the offer or after they shake the hand or we hit the elbows now, right? There's key things that happen. But when the mom runs in there and be like, guess what? Remember that car we just drove? Yeah, we're getting it. And come here, let's go. And then the mom is quick to pull you over, and you're sitting there getting all your paperwork ready, as the car buying coach or the salesperson, and you're all pumped up about it. But they come through and they do those things. It's those other things that seal that experience for you and the customer that makes it that much more enjoyable, that much more memorable, because the way for you to stay relevant to your customers going forward from here is to stay memorable to them. Because folks, there is a whole lot of fighting for their attention right now. And Chef Shaun is leading the pack in making the shift from the one way that we all knew how to do stuff to now being able to embrace and see the effectiveness and understand the customer and how they're changing and how they approach it. What types of things have you seen as being some of the biggest challenges in now communicating and connecting that customer to the physical appointment on the ground? I guess I just flowed here. I don't know why that's.
I mean, from like making an appointment to getting somebody on the ground,
right?
The biggest challenge.
Yeah. What has been the biggest shift now in the midst of COVID, in the midst of the way that we have to contact customers and deal with customers? What has been the biggest shift inside of that time that you had to make with the customer before they would actually come through? And I mean this when we were completely locked down, like we really couldn't touch anything that they were touching.
Right. Well, so normally they come in. It can be a process of a day, 2 days, 3 days. Well, now you kind of have to work a lot of it over the phone. Try to build a lot of that rapport over the phone, and then of course people didn't want to be exposed a lot, so they would try to get most of the business part of it done before they arrived. That was probably the biggest thing that changed for us, is doing some of the process virtually or over the phone versus physically in the dealership. And it's hard to build a rapport with somebody if they're not sitting in your couch. You know what I mean? It's so, or, once they do, they're now, kind of moving forward, we have the masks on, and I smile and I have a lot of facial expressions, as you can probably see through the whole video here. And that's how I communicate with a lot of people too. And I think how they communicate with us, and the mask of the people has really changed. Because all you sometimes see is the eye staring at you. You don't know how you're being received, or how they're receiving you either. So it definitely
But you know what
changes the game for
just
sure.
throw this at you, man. It does change the game. So, but what cool about that, because of the mask, you can be more forward now with those types of things. Do you like this really or not? I can't tell. Usually I can tell when people are smiling, but I can't tell. Can you just tell me? And then that could be more of a joke, and they're going to be more free. So there's always two sides to a coin, right?
Definitely.
So I'm excited. I'm excited that there's so many ways to look at stuff. I don't know, my feet over here underneath the table. I got them picked up. They're shaking. I'm like,
Well, while they're shaking over there, we want to let you know that this brew has been brought by Think Ad Group.
Yes.
Think Ad Group is the incredible solutionaries that we have teamed up with to make sure that we are helping spread the message that you can find a solution to a problem without having to be attached to one singular product. The mindset of Justin and Derek and Evelyn and all of the solutionaries affiliated with the Think Ad Group are always finding a way to brew solutions for you, and we are just thankful that we get to be with them. Again, this brew has been brought by them.
Think Ad Group.
Think Ad Group is man, I missed it. We got to do it again. This brew has been brought by Think Ad Group. There we go.
There you go. You know
right.
what's up. So we are back.
Let's see. The reason why it seems so important at this time to connect the dots between the customer and the message and the experience and the delivery is that there's so much that's been pushing the customer to get away from the person. So you having to be memorable inside of their life, you have to be somebody that they have a relationship with, that they can turn down the idea to shop on Carvana. Why? Because you can make it just as easy, if not more pleasant, more trustworthy.
100%.
Why is it? I guess I'd kind of just lean more into the same understanding there of connecting your brand to the actual experience that the customer is getting. And what have you seen as far as being effective in giving them hey, this is how this ride is going to go? You know what I mean? What have you seen as the key tools? I mean, you've been able to experience and seeing how the Next Sale app works and the way that you approach that prospecting of a customer. Because again, we're not out handing out business cards anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That day is different. You know what I mean? You're not shaking hands in line at all. You shouldn't have that close. You shouldn't be that close. You know what I mean? So having stuff like that, having tools implemented into your business, what have you seen as being a key component to making sure that your message is getting out there beyond just hey, I met a car guy at a car lot one day?
I mean, everybody has it in their hand, their phone. So you have to be on social media. That's the biggest way to keep in contact, especially when your customers do leave. Friending them, requesting them, messaging them. That way you can let everybody know who you are, where you are, what you're doing, how you can
Absolutely.
help. Staying in touch, not just with the car business, but, try to be interactive too. Try to have, questions and comments, and people can, have fun with you. And then I have a lot of hobbies. I cook, and I like cars too. So a lot of that stuff that I interact with friends on a friend level, would be cooking and food, or, cars and racing, building, things like that. And, keeps those common grounds where you're not just always talking about selling a car or buying a car. It's friendship within other ways. And you can do that on social media with with social friends.
100%. That is your calling card now. So, and this is what I try to implore to my people. And that's right. Because you don't need a business card if you have that. You can just get people connected that way. He says friends. He says friends that he just interacts with, his cooking, his driving, or just, hey, what's up type stuff, right? Those friends eventually need cars. So eventually they're going to come see you. But if they don't know you're doing this job, or they don't think you do it at a higher level, they might go see the guy who's posting more stuff about selling cars. So a lot of times what I've come to find is you got to do a certain percentage of everything. I can't just be all business on social media, which to my fault, that's probably one of my weaknesses. I'm pretty much 90% plus business when I post stuff. I do put out about I posted one last night that was, personal, and then things like that, but I don't really do it too often. I probably should do more so people know who I really am. And then even my friends know who I am and what I do. But Shaun does a good job. Shaun definitely posts stuff. He's been building that up. He's working on his almost like a lot walk. I love it. He does a good job introducing himself, talking about he's at the hill. He's on top of the hill. He's going to be here all day till all week, all that type of stuff. I watch those videos. I love them. But yeah, that is your business card. The thing is that people now, if I was a client, right? And now that, especially now that I've been using social media, it's unbelievable how powerful it is. If I get off the phone with Shaun, boom, first thing I'm going to do is go to his social media and see how many cars he's selling. Like, man, what's this guy do? Does he sell cars? I don't see anything. If I don't see anything of him really any of that connected to him at all, then why would I call this guy? He's not that much of a professional. And obviously he doesn't have any clients that really care. Then I go look at or the complete opposite. I get on here and I look up Shaun. I see Shaun. See a testimonial from a couple customers, see pictures of all these people smiling with Shaun. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. And you just keep going. You want to talk about a resume? You want to talk about a business card? You want to talk about powerful? Now you have people telling people to go see you. You have people talking about how great their experience is. You have these people smiling in front of their car with their fours up because we're for the people. That is so powerful beyond a piece of paper that you hand them that says, hey, this is how you get a hold of me.
What's your name?
Yeah, that's it.
I can see the reviews, right?
Boom.
Review culture.
There's so many things. Right? And that's why that culture, and don't get me wrong, there's still people out there who don't use social media. But let's talk about the years, and let's talk about statistics. Let's talk about who's buying cars now. We're talking about people that are buying cars that are now social media driven. People who are all over it, who use it to see reviews of restaurants, do their own reviews of restaurants, checking in at this store, checking in at that restaurant. More common, guys. This is not something that's going away. It's becoming more every year. So when you look at demographics 5 years from now, a majority of people buying cars are now that generation. And now they're getting into their 30s, guys. These are real clients. These are people who can buy and afford whatever they want. So if you're not catering to that now because all my clients those clients are going to be buying their last car soon. No offense, and don't take it the wrong way. It's facts. I'm just being honest. I'm running numbers in my head. Those eventually are not going to be that way. Guess what's going to happen? The majority of your clients are going to be this client, and now you don't know how to do it. And guys like Shaun who are already starting to do it, guys like most of the people on our team, guys that are out there doing what they're supposed to be doing. Trust me, if you start doing it now and you start forming those habits, it's not easy. Just like working out, the first few times you get a little sore, you don't see results. You're like, man, why am I doing this? It takes a little bit of time. When you start seeing the results, the soreness goes away quicker. You start loving the soreness. There's a difference. I mean, that's what it becomes. So you have to understand that becomes something if you do it every day. So I'm glad that you brought that up, Shaun. It's a great point. Social media is now your business card. So we're not shaking hands with people. We're not handing people anything anymore. We're just passing our information verbally. They can just boop, boop, boop. Or you could just send them a link on your phone that says, hey, check out my Facebook. Boom. Go friend me real quick. Or you could friend them and send them a request, send a message. There's so many things that you can do. Be aggressive. Do it right. Show people who you are. Because if you're selling a lot of cars out there and you're not using social media, that's a shame, because you can really use what we just talked about and it'll help your business. So anyway, sorry to ramble right there. I just think
there's just a lot of good nuggets there. I mean, we can have an entire training all day, and speaking of, we would do that. But the best method of approaching that is to stay consistent with it, right? Yeah. You have to be able to know how have a measurable way to see what it is that you're dealing with by staying consistent with it, by doing it continuously.
It's a hard word for Lou for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, a consistent
continuously
message is what it is that most advertisers are paying for, right? If you're a marketer out there, you're paying to have a consistency of message, and the key is that you don't know when you're going to catch somebody at that time to do that purchasing that they're wanting to do. But there's so many challenges on all ends. But Shaun is doing an incredible job of connecting his persona to his person, and his person to his persona. He makes sure to show a lifestyle of truly being for the people, but also being for the people in many different ways. I mean, he's such a diagnosis of many things in my life. You know what I mean? Like if I talk about a health thing, I'm talking to Shaun about it. But he's also a car guy where here's the keys. I need you to test this out. Tell me what's going on with that, right? You know, he's the guy for that. He's our QC at the dealership. You know, hey, drive this weekend. You know, let's see what it is that you're feeling. But he's also, hey, taste this. What's in that? You know what I'm saying? He's both of those things as far as the chef and the car guy. And it's crazy how he mixes it together.
I mean, Shaun even got in the mix of buying cars for the store. He's gone to some auctions. So Shaun's like, you know, he's doing some stuff. He's learning some things. He's definitely building up a great resume. But the biggest thing is that once again, I'm going to get back to it. Shaun is just a great dude, great person, great human being. And that's the most important thing. That's if you can start with that foundation in yourself and you work on yourself like that and you become an honest, just good person who does unto others what he expects to be done unto yourself. That's recipe to becoming great. The rest of it's just taking those steps, making sure you be consistent and you just do what you're supposed to do every single day.
And like he mentioned, you know, with the workout, the being sore, you know, I mean, I've been at our dealership now for 7.5 years. You know, when I decided to, you know, to come off the road and I wanted to, you know, I work at, you know, at a physical, you know, brick and mortar store. You know, I told myself and I told you and I told, you know, Lou that, you know, I kind of like entrench, you know, when I got my desk, I know the first time I put up sandbags and I dug trenches and I laid the foundation to try to, because I wasn't going anywhere. I was like, hey, this is going to be my mission. This is my plan. I got a couple kids in high school. I know I'm going to be rocking this at least until that point, you know? So that was, you know, and even, you know, those first couple years, I probably did slack a little too much on that. You know, you always look back and kind of know at the first year, if I would have been that much more proactive than I am, you know, the later years where would the career take for me from there? Of course, you know, hindsight's always hindsight, but just knowing that, you know, in every year trying to just implement everything that kind of works, you know, for you better, you know, so
just knowing that. And the thing we talk about a lot is the biggest room in the world is a room for improvement. That doesn't matter who you are, Shaun. You're going to look back, even if you did the stuff that you think you should have done back then, if you were in today, you would look back at, I could have done more. And that's the craziest thing, because there's always more that you can do. We all have the same hours every single day. We all have 24 hours, 365 days a year. No one else has more than that. We all have the same, but we see a lot of people who do some crazy stuff in that amount of time while we're like, I'm lazy. Even though I feel like, even now, I feel like I see people do stuff and I'm like, man, like a Glenn Lundy, dude, this dude is unbelievable. Yeah. And I'm like, we do some stuff, but man, he does some stuff. Now, granted, I have a full-time job during the day. That's a little, so I would be able to knock out a few more things if I didn't have that. But at the same time, he's earned that. He's rocked it, and he's done nothing but some great stuff. And his day is a daily plan of what he's going to do, and he makes it happen. And you're going to find that. So you're going to look back at it 5 years from now, just like all of us in your business time of being in this business. And you're going to be like, man, I could have done more. I could have done a whole lot more as a salesperson. I look back, I'm like, God bless. I missed all kinds of deals. I know I did. I think back, I should have been like doing this and that, you know. But at the same time, that's cool that you think that way, because we all need to think that way.
It's a big misconception. The more successful you become, the less work you have to do. It's actually the opposite way.
So,
the way more work that you
way
have
to tell it. That's a fact.
You know, look at The Rock or Kevin Hart, or, you know, those kind of guys. They have, you know, big social media followings, and those dudes are up at, you know, 4 a.m. and don't even have to be, you know, their bank account says enough, you know, so they still do it, you know, to try to be successful.
Man, I think we hit you like with the 7-8 liner.
Yeah, I don't know.
And that's okay. We're way past 5. I know that's okay. But I thought they were really good. The flow was really wonderful. Folks, we're going to take a quick 30-second video break. And when we get back, we're going to hit Shaun. We're going to hit Shaun with some fresh news. So be ready for it. Give us a second. Is that the 30-second count? That's a 30-second countdown. When did you put that in there, Lou? I didn't know. I need to use that a long time. But anyway, I don't know which one's.
Oh, not that.
This one right here? Mm-hmm. What is that? You don't know what that is?
No,
I don't either. So we're not going to look at that. So we're just going to go ahead and drop
Bam.
This one right here. Let's go. All right.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Thank you all for hanging in there. Guys, we're so excited. These two have to get out of here really quick, so we're going to do a couple more things, get you guys going. We're going to talk about some fresh news, but in a car guy confession session. So, Shaun, you've been doing this social media thing, and you're starting to get Chef Shaun, the brand out there. I love it. Let's talk about that. What inspired the Chef Shaun, and what are you going to be doing in the future so people can get a hold of you? Where can they get a hold of you, and all that type of stuff?
Inspired me, definitely. A buddy used to sit across from me, Jim, always would call me chef. And then, like I said, on those houseboat trips or any company events, always, kind of just being the one at the grill, man, in the food station, So our owner, Tony Melito, actually mentioned, just one day in a meeting talking about your global positioning statement, and kind of just threw that out there, and as soon as he hit it, it just went perfect. And I was like, hey, that's it. Because I'd kind of been looking for that moniker or that name or that that character that I was needing to be, and it just stuck, and I've just kind of run with that, since. And then what was the second part of your question? Sorry about
how
that.
can they get a hold of you? Where
Definitely.
can they find you?
So you can find me, of course, on social media, on Facebook, Shaun Gallagher. On Instagram, you're always going to find me at Chef Shaun _KY. And those are my two probably biggest ones that I'm interactive with, I guess. And then you can also find me on Muldraw, Kentucky, on the hill. If you don't know,
the hill.
270-300-0445.
Woo!
It's the best way to get a hold of me.
That's right.
Yeah. So, Shaun, he's at the Muldrow location. Make sure you come check him out. He is always going to be there to help. He's always going to be there to help you. He's going to make sure you get taken care of. And he has a partner at the store that he can do business with. Shaun's not there. He has his son working there. Logan.
Yeah.
Logan's there. That's so crazy.
It's a dream come true. If you never worked with your son every day and you get a chance, rock it.
Yes.
Do it.
Guys.
Especially early in their lives.
The dynamic that I get to from the position I sit at, watch him and his son do business together and be able to balance and look out for each other the way that a team should. It's encouraging, and it gets you into a spot of real, like, I really want that, right? I really want to do business right there, side by side with my son and watching him grow. We share moments of seeing Logan do some great things inside of a car deal where we come together and we have that, oh my gosh, he's becoming such a man. You know what I mean? Those moments that are so encouraging to us. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And sometimes you have that even with the person that's not blood that comes into the store. You train them up. Some of the guys from the store, train them up, teach them some stuff, and they see it activated, and there's a victory because they do it. But this is really his son, right? This is this kid that we have inside of the culture of the store.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Huh?
It's a young man. He's not a kid.
Yes. To me, they're my kids, right? So, but he is becoming, he's gone from the detail department to selling cars and solving transportation problems and helping people do the same thing that he's seeing daddy do and have success, because he's seen the fruits of his father's labor. And that's an encouraging story. That's an encouraging thing to just witness and be a part of. And it's been an honor to pour into both of you, but to see and to share side by side with you, to watch your son become this great man that he's becoming and take ownership of life You know what I mean? It's just so much fun, and it's been a blessing, a great blessing of mine during this time.
I'm kind of jealous because I didn't get any piece of training. Well, I guess sort of, but not really, like in those meetings. But I'm not there every day doing any OG, on the job training with them. So I'm kind of jealous of that a little bit. I kind of wish I could throw a little Fred flavor in them, but one day.
Watching him grow, trains me still. You know what I mean? It invigorates me, and then of course you have to be on your game because he's watching. But when he makes those milestones, when we see that, that's a key remembrance. Like, hey, I remember when I learned that, or hey, how important was that to keep that in mind when you do the next, you're with the next customer. So it keeps you on your toes too. Definitely,
that's cool, definitely does.
That's all part of our legacy. You guys. Our children are our legacies. It's a beautiful thing. You're going to see, the way you raise your child, what he's becoming and who he's trying to become, and it shows that. The one thing that you definitely passed on to him is his heart and his do unto others as you want done unto you. I love that you brought that up earlier because he's definitely the same way. He's a very when you ask him a question,
he's a sweet guy. He's a very nice person.
When you ask him a question, he's going to give you the right answer.
Yeah,
kind answer, and he's going to look it up. I mean, he is the litmus test of what this generation is like. You know what I mean? I test so many things against him for, hey, what is your response to it? And it's I'm going to go to this app, bada bing, bada bing, bada bing, bing, boom. Here's your answer. You know what I mean? He is
but I will find
so on that. Exactly.
Because it's all there.
He's going to find the answer for you. And
the information age, man.
The techniques of this generation to get there. But
yes,
Chef Shaun is cooking up big things, folks. You can get a hold of him by going to any of the social media platforms.
Shaun Gallagher with the U.
Gallagher.
Shaun with the U. No W.
I don't care how you spell it as long as you say
it. See it down here there.
Says
special guest right below me right here. See that Shaun right there? That's how you spell Shaun. And Gallagher, like the guy who breaks fruit. So don't worry, man. Shaun, check him out, Chef Shaun. Seriously, peep his game out, encourage him, tell him to post more stuff if you want to see more stuff from this guy, because he will. Let's get this guy out there. Let's get him going. Let's help him out. Let's help him get a deal today. Come on, let's pass him a deal. Someone refer him a deal. He needs a deal today. Boom. What's that number again, Shaun? One more time.
270-300-0445.
Yes, sir. It's been the same number forever.
Only cell phone I've ever had.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So we're gonna get into Car Guy confession session because I know you guys got to go, but I want to get a Car Guy confession session from Shaun. So Car Guy confession session is a story that maybe was a blunder or something that's funny from this business that you've heard, that you've seen, something maybe you saw on the road that you were like, I can't believe this is happening. Something that happened maybe to a client or something that happened to a salesperson. You know a lot. We've seen it all. I know you've seen it all, a lot of stuff. You've been out all kinds of places. Like West Virginia, we've seen crazy stuff alone. Just that one place. But give us a story, Shaun. I want to hear one.
Oh man, that's a kind of an on the spot question. So just within the business, man. I mean, I guess you see it's crazy that you would see guys sleeping in cars, but. West Virginia, people are coming to Walmart to save $5 on toilet paper, you know what I mean? And get the cheapest. And then they, kind of walk in under a tent, and next thing you know, their wife brings them to Walmart and, they're buying cars. That was for me even, that was just one of those things kind of that would just be crazy. But I guess probably one of the biggest things that sticks out, it Lou's here in the room with us, is that, in the business, there's a term, the husband's here and the wife's not, we consider that kind of a one-legged up, which is not probably a more derogatory term, shouldn't be used, but, this
is jargon. It's car guy jargon.
This guy here doing his job, doing what he's doing, and there's a husband there trying to buy a car. He keeps referring to his wife, and wants to buy the vehicle. And, we're doing what we're supposed to do. And my manager happens to be this guy right here, talks to about, calling the customer, one-legged up, and the guy gets super offended. Nobody normally ever does, but he ends up getting super offended and pulls his leg up over the desk and pulls his prosthetic leg off, and puts it on the table. And it was like, why are you calling me that? And just kind of from there on, it's recent memory. That's probably the biggest blunder
that's a good one, dude.
Hilarious story that, nothing,
He said, you don't know how one-legged I am.
Exactly, yeah.
That's it.
So, dude, can you imagine doing that, folks? Going out there and say, hey, listen, you're a one-legged up. And what that means, what do you mean one-legged up? He literally has one leg, so he is a one-legged up. Even if he had his wife there.
I'm trying to put old Lou on the spot.
No, that was true. I
No,
looked
it's
right at him. I
great,
said,
dude. I love it.
"Sir, you would be what we would consider a one-legged up because you don't have the other decision maker here." And he said, "What did you call me?" And he leaned forward, popped the leg off, put it on the table. You don't know how one-legged I am. And I just sat there while Mike Ragland and Bishop are behind him on the other side, falling on each other, laughing their faces off.
I would have too.
Running to the tower to go tell everybody what Lou just said and what the guy just did. And everybody looks up and everybody's laughing, cracking up, dying. I mean, it was hilarious. And I'm straight faced, holding it together. I'm like, hold it. You know what I'm saying? Doing the best that I can to keep it together. And
that's so funny, man.
And as he does that, and I get myself back in line, I just said, "Now, sir, how hard would it be for you to get around without that on?"
Oh, shiza.
Do you understand why it would be difficult for us to go further without having both legs here? You know, and wrapped up the deal. We closed it up. Yeah. He said, "I understood." It all came together, and it was a good, strong closing moment. But it was the one-legged up, man,
and literally pulls out his leg. What do you mean one-legged up?
You don't know how one-legged I am, boy. You know what I'm saying? It was just
one story.
He's the guy who came walking in and flipped off Casey. You know what I'm saying? Walking into the showroom, like just walking in there because it was a masterful pull together of a deal. But man, it was this guy was something else. It was very interesting. But I had no idea he was on one leg. He had that completely hidden in his jeans. We had no clue, and I would have never said that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? With knowing that,
if the guy said no, he would have said it. I'm just kidding. He wouldn't have done that. It
would have been. I don't even know what.
Well, folks,
that's just what happened.
Well, folks,
that was a great confession session.
This was a great confession session. Man, that's a great story. Thank you, Shaun, for coming on our show, brother.
Appreciate you guys.
And man, I wish you nothing but the best in your life. You know this already, but I wish you nothing but the best in life. I wish you nothing but the best in this business and whatever else you do in the future. I know whatever you do, you're always going to do with all your passion, like you always do, man. And I appreciate you not just as a person who does the cars, I appreciate you as a brother. I appreciate you as a friend more than anything. And I'm so glad to have you on the show. Look forward to having you back on the show again. And man, just keep growing and keep doing your thing, man. And I know that your future is bright. Both his kids are out of the house, guys. It's sad, but he's going to have a lot of fun here in the next few years. It's going to be a little different. You do a little frolicking and doing all kinds of other stuff. So that being said, thank you so much.
Thanks for Brewing Solutions.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you for being just a brother. I'm excited to go have a great day on the lot, solving transportation problems. People out.
Brew Solution, Car Guy Coffee. Shout out.
Get you some. Get you some of that. Come on, guys. This is Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
This is Frello Narcis, subprime hero.
And we have been Brewing Solutions with Chef Shaun.
That's right. Serving it up.
Have a great day. Forgive, focus, fly, keep growing. Bless somebody. Turn your shine on. Smile, smile, smile. Dial, dial, dial. Have a great day. Exceed your expectations. Believe, and you will achieve. We love you all. God bless. Holla, 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 holla.
Peace, peace.
We
peace,
out.
Peace,
we
peace,
out.
peace.
We out. Almost out.
Kind of, sort of gone. There we go.